Greetings and namaste everyone, my name is Lia. Thank you very much for watching this video. With me is this beautiful lady, her name is Lia Wai Ching. Right? She's the founder of Infinity Quantum Qigong and she's a Peranakan lady. I'm gonna, without further ado, I'm just gonna pass it over to her to explain to you more about Peranakan culture as well as what Infinity Quantum Qigong is about. Thank you for coming onto my talk show.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you for the invitation. It is such a wonderful opportunity to create this greater revelation and education about what Peranakan is. It is actually a wonderful merging of our Chinese culture coming from basically the south, like Fujian and Canton, and moving through Vietnam, Thailand, to Penang, to Kuala Lumpur, to Singapore, over to Indonesia, and then also to Bali, as well as far as Philippines. It is a wonderful merging of the Chinese culture, the Nanyang Chinese, the overseas Chinese, who were born in Southeast Asia. So it's called Peranakan, Anakan of the earth here.
It's such a beautiful name, right? Yeah, Peranakan. Just love the sound of the word. And like what you say, it's a blend and the best of both. I want not just both worlds, many cultures. So best of many worlds.
Many worlds actually, because actually part of the Arabic Islamic world as well. If you see what is known as the Peranakan tiles, they originated in Persia, Iran, Iraq.
Yes, there are definitely similarities in the art and the motifs. Yes, definitely.
And then coming through into Japan and then into Southeast Asia.
Wonderful.
And the colors are amazing too. The colors is really
very vibrant. Yeah, fuchsia pinks, lime greens. You know, I just love. You know when you're wearing the kabaya, it's so beautiful. You know,
and sulam. Combinations banana fiber.
Look at the embroidery and everything. This is awesome. This is the art, the artistry, the craftsmanship that went into the embroidery, the croissant.
The croissant as well.
Awesome.
And this is what the Peranakans are known for in terms of healing. That there's such a joie de vivre, you know, just a love for color, and that itself is chromotherapy. It's color therapy. And it is
makes you feel good when you look at the vibrant color.
When you look at it, and the music, which is acoustic.
Yes.
And then when you listen to the krochong, and of course Peranakans love a good party, and the dancing and movement.
It's also the food and the spices and herbs that you guys, right? Are very healing, very organic.
Exactly. So the Peranakan food is actually very, very therapeutic. I mean, if one doesn't eat too much of it, that's the whole aspect.
Yeah, I think too much of anything is not so good for you anyway. You need a balance. Yeah.
And the moderation.
Moderation, exactly. Right, how does your Peranakan ancestry and heritage molds you into the holistic healer and practitioner that you are? You have been doing this for over 20 years, right?
Yes,
very
professionally.
Yes.
But how it molded me was just really like everybody else. It's in the DNA. And in my DNA, my great-grandfather was a Chinese physician to the Sultan of Selangor. So that in itself is already a Chinese physician to a Muslim royalty. And on my mother's side, we have a whole wonderful spectrum of gifts that the aunties bring. Well, one is a massage therapist, you could say, not quite a therapist at that time, but she was a massage therapist to the Datins, the Datos in Malaysia, and one was a hairdresser, and the other is a beautician. And then we bring in all these gifts into that, but also we used to make rice powder according to the cycles of the moon. And they are extremely mystical, these women, and very connected to the earth. So in this modern day, you call it shamans.
Shamans, yes. Very in tune to, like you say, moon cycles, to nature, right? Yeah, it's all, like you said, so it's already in your ancestry, and you went as a little girl and growing up, you got influenced by both sides of your parentage. So and you brought that into your healing work.
Yes. For example, my grandmother used to go around the house with kamunyan in a clay pot with charcoal, and that is to clear the space to evil spirits, as well as at that time it is to stop molding.
Yes.
So now we know in modern aromatherapy that is antibacterial, antiviral.
Yeah.
Frankincense of Australia, sacre of Australia, terry has those properties. And now I use them use the oils in my work in a modern way. I just carry them in a bottle of oil.
Yeah, instead of powdering, extract the juices and essences,
and
right?
having to take the asap, we call it, where we do the smudging, because there's the fire element and there's the romance of it, but also the efficacy of it is heightened when we infuse the science of therapeutic oils.
Yeah.
And this has led me to actually doing my work in space clearing and blessing, and or some people call it ghost busting, which I'm most known for.
Well, yeah, especially because you reside in Bali, so lots of spirits there.
Yes, here in Singapore too. So I've been asked by modern developers and hoteliers, clinics and hospitals.
Yes, to clean the energy of their spaces.
Yes, to clear the energy, as well as residences as well, with, by real estate developers before and after.
I know you have lots of experience with that, and you really look the part. You know, you always every time I see you, you're always so well groomed. I love your energy, and that's why I've invited her. Right? Could you tell us a little bit about quantum, infinity quantum qigong? What does it entail, and how is it different from the conventional qigong?
Right. This is also through my realization of feeling, studying, researching the ancient wisdom of our cultures, the various cultures of the world, really, not just the Chinese one, to find the simplicity and also the similar qualities of all healing traditions. And then in practicing Qigong itself, I found that it was actually quantum medicine, quantum healing.
Yes.
And when we go back to the other dimensions, other realms and galactic dimensions,
it's actually cosmic.
Celestial, it is cosmic. And then it's the same energies that come through. So therefore I call it infinity, which is based on the sacred geometry, right, of the infinite symbol, and on the agua and on the yin yang. The yin yang is actually a living flow of the sine waves. And then I've transformed it to understanding in the quantum field. So studying fractals and pixels in the quantum field. And many of my clients, when we take them through the journey, they actually go into it and start to see the sacred geometry and the pixels and the fractals of their own beingness. So it just came about, and I now work with scientists and medical doctors in integrating the ancient wisdom with the modern science.
Yeah, I mean, you have lots of very prolific clients actually, right? You know, you've done healing and consultations for many hotels, spas, and even astronauts. So yeah, very your 20 years. It's such a good. I want to tap more into your library that's taught here, all that knowledge that's in you through all your years of experience. So you'll definitely be seeing much more of her in my future videos. So look out for that, right? You're about to give us a talk at the Peranakan Arts Festival here in Singapore, and your talk is about the healing therapies of the Peranakans. Could you briefly tell the audience what you're about to tell and teach them?
Well, I was in the previous talks. I talked a lot about herbal medicine actually, and how it's been localized from the traditional Chinese medicine and localized with the addition of the indigenous herbs that are here. But also we look at the energetics of food and the energetics of crystals, because most people don't realize when we wear the jade, that we are actually relating to the piezoelectric field of the crystals. And so we bring into the realization, wow, this is also science. Of course, it's beyond the beauty and the romance of the diamonds, which Peranakan ladies love, and which holds the whole spectrum of the rainbow.
Yes, you're even wearing them now.
The jade is, we loved our jade. And there is a tradition that the Peranakan women, when they wear a jade bangle, should they fall, especially the old ones, the elderly, and it breaks, they should return it back to the earth, because it has
already served you.
To clear some negative energies.
Awesome.
So I'm just doing a whole integration of herbal, crystal medicine, as well as movement and dance. Just a whole conglomerate of life.
Integrating it all into a holistic package. Right. Thank you so much for coming again to my talk show. We definitely will see you in my future videos. Thank you guys for watching this video again. Stay tuned immediately right after this video, you will hear her speak about the healing therapies of the Peranakans. Thank you again for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting and interesting videos pertaining to spirituality and other holistic topics.
Hello everyone. Yes, my name is Wai Ching and I grew up Peranakan. And the very early stages of my childhood, I actually had my initiation, shall we say, into the Peranakan healing therapies with my grandmother, and she used to take the kamunyen. Yes, I can see a lot of familiar smiles now. And we take the kamunyen around the house. And how did you do it? How did you take the kamunyen around the house? The asap, yeah? In a terracotta holder with charcoal, right? And you take the charcoal and you put it on the terracotta plate and you take it around. And the kamunyen is called frankincense. And the frankincense is Boswellia carteri or Boswellia sacra. And in the past, we would need to put it like this, but now we have a new way of doing it. It's in a bottle. And it has all the therapeutic qualities in this bottle and much easier. Those of you who would like to try it later, you can just come up and I'll let you try it. So the frankincense has the properties of clearing what you call feng shui, right? It's clearing the air, the energy of the evil spirit, so to speak, right? But at the same time, it is actually antibacterial and antiviral, and so that it is at that time very important medicine for yourself and for skin conditions. And it also has a way of reducing wrinkles. And so we use that as well when it's in water to put as a floral medicine on the face with a spritz, or we drink it even. So you can do it now with a bottle. So this is just to start to telling you how I was initiated with my grandmother, but also at the same time we used to make bedak sujuk with rice. When we make the rice powder in our daily soigneurs, right? Who used to use bedak sujuk? Did you make your own? No. Okay, we made our own. And when we made our own, we would make it according to the full moon. So my father says already very ding dong, because we do everything by the full moon and the cycles of the moon. You see, so we are, the cultures are like that. And the same as when we cut our hair, we should trim our hair according to the full moon. Why? Because it grows faster. And science has shown that if you actually have surgery during a full moon, there is extra bleeding. There's more bleeding. So if you can, try not to organize any surgery during the full moon. Right. And because the tides as well, the moon's pull from the Earth's surface, the tides are higher, so we have high tide during full moon. The same as our blood, that during the full moon, yes, the blood and the hormones, so we become lunatics, a bit xiao, and we become more emotional during that time. And the same as they found that women who go through the menstrual cycle during that time, they are highly emotional. And it's also quite healthy to do it, because at that time we are coming to our highest spiritual self. So I will speak about healing therapies and traditions according to holistic principles. That means from spiritual to physical to emotional and mental ways of how Peranakans actually really live a life of health. First of all, look around at the colors. The colors correspond with chromotherapy, which is color therapy. And the color therapy, the colors affect the eye cones, and it starts to vibrate into our brain, the frontal lobe, and through the optic nerve. And colors excite and stimulate our cells. And it, of course, is different to different people. That's the holistic approach. Different people have different colors. So we have the chromotherapy very strong in the Peranakan culture, and taste the food. Enak sekali, you know, the sambal will make you already lao nua. Just the thought of it, right? So already thinking, enak sekali, and then you think of all your favorite kuehs and your favorite cendol. So it's already activating on our brain and releasing serotonin and oxytocin. So it resonates pleasure, Peranakan pleasure. So it's already very, our makan is so lemak and so aromatic, right? So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is the herbal aspect. It's actually very therapeutic, all the herbs that we use. For example, the nasi ulam is made also with 17 ingredients, about 10 or so herbs that are raw. So really healthy for us. The next one is our konchong music. The konchong music is acoustic music. Acoustic music is based on string instruments, and it is based on the pentatonic scale. According to the pentatonic scale, like in Chinese music, it affects our brain waves in a different way. It is truly healing. And for example, the music of the violin or the double bass and then the singing, it's very swaying, isn't it, the konchong? So that's, in a way, we start to work with our energy field, which is based on figure 8. It's based on flow of qi. I'll show you in our slides later. So, and then that adds to movement and dance. And when we move from left to right, we are balancing our left brain and right brain and increasing our balance. Dance, according to WHO, is now considered a healing modality. Salsa and tango, especially because tango, you move backwards. So anything that allows you to move backwards and forwards actually helps us with our brain waves and our balance, also sideways. So that's why the Qigong that I teach, the Infinity Quantum Qigong, is powerful. It's because we do it consciously from a center line, right? You'll practice that. The most basic of healing is breathing, just breathing. If we remember to breathe in, 8 counts in and 8 counts out. Everybody try it now. 8 counts in and 8 counts out, right? Okay. And some of you are already getting relaxed, closing your eyes. So gently close your eyes. 8 counts in. Nafas. Tarik nafas. And then 8 counts out. You can uncross your legs, which will be better. Try again. 8 counts in. And 8 counts out. At the same time, you can breathe in light. Light from the matahari, the sun, the bulan, the moon, the bintang, the stars, and the pelangi, the rainbow. Just whichever you prefer. Just breathe in the light and down the front. Let the light go down the front and up the back. And then down the front again and up the back. As you breathe in the light, take it into your heart, the jantung, into your lungs. Let the light flow through into the blood, into all the cells. So wherever you may have any constriction or illness, a sluggish liver, a weak heart, asthma, bring the light there. And take it down into the kidneys to strengthen the kidneys, the kidney jing, combining atmospheric qi and kidney jing, and breathe in through the navel. And then breathe into your intestines and sexual organs, and out down the feet into the earth. Now bring up the energy in the earth. Very good. Some of you are going into it deeply. And up to the top of the head and down the front again. For those of you who like to try, you can place your hands in front of you and see if you can feel anything, the palms between your hands, any energy or qi. Right, so you feel that? Yeah, some of you are already feeling. So you can take this qi and put it to any part of your body you like to heal, even your face, or your eyes. If your vision is not so good, you can put some frankincense on the hands and then rub it together. Have a nice inhalation. It goes into the limbic brain and then into the rest of your body, into the bloodstream. Now place your hands there, or any other part of your body, or over to heal. That's the Qigong. Okay? So this is the basis of Qigong, and it's the basis of our Peranakan healing, which is traditional Chinese medicine. So the TCM, it's wonderful. You see that it is the meridians. You see the meridians? It goes through our bodies, and the acupuncturists will use the needle to activate the portals or the doorways that will bring more qi into your body. So you understand now how it works. Look at the slide. This is who we are when we sleep and when we pass on. Yes. We are not only just physical bodies, so we have no fear. We can let go when we die. We can pass on. This is part of our spiritual practice. When we pray, is to pray for a good passage back home to being spiritual. On the right side, that is how we all look. And when we are in tune with our soul, this is the soul, or when we are in alignment with our qi, we actually become very healthy and also rejuvenating. We become more youthful. So we have rejuvenation programs with what I do. So I'm 58 years old, right? And this is my real hair. It goes down to here, right? And I give myself after meditation and Qigong, what I just taught you. You have the secret, so you can use it. And then you just circulate into your scalp and you massage. And you can massage with your oils as well, right? And coconut oil, which my grandmother and my mothers used to make themselves the minyak kelapa atau minyak nyoya. Yeah, so you can use, or you can just buy the cold pressed one. Now there's more modern cold pressed virgin coconut oil. So, and you can put a little bit of turmeric in it for enhancing the properties for the immune system, right? So the TCM is our basis for healing and Qigong, and we go into the herbal side of our healing. Why? Because it is actually the gifts of the earth that we all have to eat, right? To sustain our physical body, our energy body. So what we eat sustains us, and also what you like. We are what you eat, you heard of that, and you are also what is eating you. So it's important for us to clear our emotions, right? To release any negative emotions, any bad feelings, because you know what? It will clear our meridians. It will help our endocrine glands to be more balanced, and then our feelings is linked to our hormones, and it will balance our hormones. So it's important on many aspects to clear our emotions. Now back to herbal medicine. A lot of it has been, our Chinese herbs of the Peranakans have been localized. For example, chrysanthemum tea is now mixed with pandan, right, for coolingness, and it's more cooling, as well as using our sechang, it's a bark. So all this has been localized to suit the Peranakan culture because it's very dry. And very important too is we have not discovered many of our daun kasum. Our Peranakan leaves, daun kasum, is our laksa leaves, right? And it's called collagenum. Now we have not, in the scientific world, actually discovered the bacterial, antibacterial and therapeutic qualities. But mark my words, they will. As well as our bunga kantan, yeah? It's the bongkot or the torch ginger. That will come into the world. Because as we know now, turmeric, the curcuma, is now known to be a very therapeutic adjuvant support for cancer, as well as the camunyen. Most of the herbal cancer treatments now include the two. So find out if you have to. And can we do the next one? Yeah, papaya leaves. Papaya leaves is easily available here. Make sure that if you're dengue or anyone else, just cut young papaya leaf, squeeze the juice and drink cepat-cepat. because it's very pahit. Yeah. Otherwise, you kasih the madu, yeah, or gula melaka, yeah, gula kelapa, yeah, which is very good because it has more minerals. Now I will do a test later with white sugar and gula aren to see which one suits you. I'll have a volunteer. Think about who wants to come up. Okay. So next please. And then we have also we use barley, we use puchok. It's a really good combination of foods as well as soups. So next please, and soups we used to have two kinds of soups. My mom used to make the groundnuts, roots for the men, and then tong kwai for the women. So we really pay a lot of credence to herbal medicine for our vitality and for our reproductive abilities as well. So it's important for the legacy of life to go on, right? And next please, yes. So this is, anyone recognize this? It's the ilhua, right? Which is typical in suggesting that the herbs will be just right for you. So we are already very much holistic in our approach. So it's personalized. And so now in the Western world, we're trying to go back to a personal way of looking at the constitution, the emotional makeup, your lifestyle. We call it lifestyle. And your thought forms, your worries, you see. So that's what I am. I'm a holistic healer. So when you come, we encompass all these aspects of yourself, not just giving pills, right? So this is an important part. And you see there's also the Malay word, obat mulut, right? And then one for eczema, sakit kulit, yeah? So, and we would cook it in this, right? And it's very important to cook it in this because it's the coming together of the elements of the body, the alchemy we call it, of the earth, because we are earth elements, we are wood elements, we are water, and we are fire, and we are ethers. So when we go back to natural medicines like this, we sustain our earthiness, our spiritualness, right? Instead of taking medicine that is just like a pill, or in a hospital. So we have to try and humanize hospitals as well. Okay? Now, also drinking tea. You bring your green tea or pu'er when you're having too much fatty food. It actually clear the cholesterol, and the catechins in green tea is now substantiated by science that it is a highly antioxidant element. Okay? So tea is also very important, but we'll see what kind of tea suits you best later. Next please. Thank you. When we go on to, at this point, I would like to invite someone to be a volunteer who would like to test now what is suitable for them in foods. We did that. And bring your mobile phone out. Who would like to? On. I charge quite a lot of money for this, by the way. So you're getting a freebie. Come on, Peranakans. True blue Peranakans want a good bargain. We had lots of people wanting to come. Yes, please. Thank you. Do you have your mobile phone? Please bring that. Yeah, speak that. Okay. Put your mobile phone now. So according to what I've shown you, the human body is physical and anatomical, right? And it's emotional, mental, but energetic. You have a chi. They call it the aura, okay? Or the etheric body. So you have one. When we do this work, I'm not just testing you on a physical level, I'm testing you on your energy. So like the doctors will say, this is your pulse, don't eat so much heaty foods, right? Big jot tea, right? And like that thing. So instead of that, I'm just testing you so all of you can see. And this is what I do for my clients here. Now you agree that if something is good for you, it'll be strong, right? And something is true, it'll be strong. If not, you'll be weak, correct? Like if allergies, if you eat something that you're very allergic to, you can't breathe or you have headache, like MSG by the way, is a highly toxic. Make sure you don't put any of MSG or getting into your beautiful Peranakan dishes. Already tasty enough. So if I press down, can you resist me please? Resist, okay. So this one you can't see. Alright, can you see? I'm really pressing. Right, you're very strong. Now, if I ask you to hold this, this is going to show how the electromagnetic frequency, the radiation from your phone. All of you holding your phones like that one? Yeah? This is how it's much weaker it's making you. Ready? Want to try it again? Okay, see? Put it down please. Wow. Fight. Okay. Pick up the phone. So fast. Now she's getting used to it. So you holding your phone as you're texting, this is how it's affecting you now. Right? So you can come and we can test for food all the way through. I do a 1-hour profile and you'll know exactly what foods you can eat or not eat and how your hair color is affecting you, your toothpaste, the laundry detergent, and everything, how it's affecting you. Laundry detergent, there's triclosan in it. Be careful. Use all natural products because triclosan is a hormonal disruptor. Now we know why we have cancers and we have all those issues. Okay? I'm going to link now the ancient wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine to modern technology. We have something here that's called a power strip, and it's made with ginseng. And you know that ginseng makes you strong, right? Okay? So, we put this ginseng, it is also germanium, which is a crystal. By the way, there's a crystal in your phone as well, right? A crystal chip. And this crystal balances this crystal. It balances this human crystal because we are also bone and we are mineral. So it will balance this. So you hold on to that, please. Ready? See? She's now strong by putting this. We have this, and you can just only do 1/3 of it. You hold that. Strong. And what we do is that we place this at the back. I'll give you a present because you are here. It's not so expensive anyway. You can talk to me later. And I'll place it out of the case, please. Yes. And we have some in my booth up there, down there. Oh, we can do that. There we go. It's a present for you. Just leave it there. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll do that later. Now, I would like to test you for your food. Okay? Would you be interested to know what foods you eat and not to eat? Okay. What's your favorite vegetable, please? Eat all the vegetables. Okay. Your favorite one? Okay. So, broccoli? Cabbage? Spinach? Okay. Let's test you for spinach. Okay. So, just test for strong, please. Okay. Spinach? Not so suitable for you. You like spinach, but spinach is not so good for you. Do you have aches and pains, knees, back, joints? If you walk too much. Now spinach has oxalic acid. It is not suitable for people with arthritis or, So if you have joint pains, you should not be eating spinach. Okay? Or just lay off for a while. Do you eat terong as well, brinjal? Okay, let's see brinjal. The same with brinjal. Don't eat too much brinjal. In fact, at this point in time, do not eat spinach. Do not eat terong. Because probably you ate too much. Possibly. Okay, let's check something. Let's say rice. Okay? Rice. See? Rice is strong. Gula Melaka, yeah? Gula Melaka is strong. I can't push down. White sugar? White sugar, look at that. So when you make your kueh with white sugar, this is what happens. The kueh becomes toxic and not healing. But when you make the kueh, like the onde with the coconut, assuming your coconut is good for you, coconut is good for her. Onde becomes then a healing food. Yeah, but if you put white sugar in it, no. The same as chocolate. Do you eat chocolate? Okay, you like chocolate. Dark chocolate. Chocolate itself is really strong. Chocolate with sugar. Okay, chocolate with sugar. Look at that. And most chocolate is with sugar. But if you make chocolate with brown sugar, see, it becomes strong. So this is how we do this, right? And can you think of your toothpaste? What toothpaste you use, okay? You use an organic one. Let's see. The brand, very strong. She just has to think about it. I can also do this for her daughter, let's say, who's living in England. It's called resonance healing, right? Or anybody at all. You know, I can do this. It's called a surrogate. So is this good enough for you? Is there something else you want to check? Meat or? Yeah. Let's check something that. So now we know terong and spinach not good. Let's check wheat for you. Tepung, yeah, wheat. See, also. So if she eats a lot of cakes and mee noodles, yeah, rice noodles or wheat noodles. Kway teow bee hoon is made from rice. Rice suits you. Yellow noodles, check. Yellow noodles, see? Different, right? Kway teow, strong. Yellow noodles is made from wheat. So avoid all wheat products. Do you drink? Correct. So now every time you eat a cake made with wheat, your body is weaker. So if you want to be more youthful or heal from a illness, you know what to eat and what not to eat. Because every time you put in your mouth, so weak, you know, you know you have to kamjat, right? But you know you don't eat it every day. Glutinous rice is fine, it's rice. See? Yeah. So milk, do you drink milk? Not so much, but you do. In your drinks are coffee, tea, okay. So milk, see? Change the milk. You can have rice milk, almond milk, cashew milk. So milk also is an interesting topic because milk is meant for cows, baby cows to grow. So we all have cancer cells in all of us. It's how to prevent. So if we take too much actually milk, it's a hormonal content that will make the cells proliferate. So if we have, same with cheese, right? And so it will proliferate more. So I advise, if you're not sure, you can just avoid milk or come and see me. And so, for some people it's very strong, so it's not always the case. So like the Yotua, we are customizing your healing approach, starting with food as your medicine. Okay. Is that helpful for you? Yes, good, thank you. Yeah, here's a present. Helpful for everyone? Yes, I know, it's quite enlightening, isn't it? So we're now using modern medicine for this. And we can test a lot of different things as well and heal right there. We can rebalance the hormones and in an hour session as well. So I will proceed with how herbal medicine became codified. And through jamu, who knows what jamu is? What jamu? Yes, jamu is herbal medicine from Indonesia. But I think most of you don't know that the jamu industry is huge in Indonesia. It was started by two Peranakan Chinese women. Yes, in 1910, according to the Dutch East Indies commercial law, only the Chinese were allowed as Asians, because they're foreign Chinese, to start companies. The local Indonesian women were not allowed, or the men were not allowed to start companies. So these two women started, and they were the genesis. And so this is how jamu used to be sold on the streets with different kinds. Like we have turmeric, the kurkuma, with tamarind and honey. Yeah, that's the most popular one in, let's say, Bali, where I live now, where we have a healing center. And another one is bros kencur. So we have kencur, the lesser galangal, which is really good for cooling and build a bit of human chi. And this is what I do. I transmit the chi to my clients. Yeah, transmit the chi. They get well very, very fast. you can take a card and look at the website and the testimonials. And what else, please? Thank you. So, and Jamu today now is codified as well as, and a lot of Western pharmaceutical companies are over here looking to actually market it to the Western world and to the medical world as well. And the royal families then understood, they regarded secrets, and it's now out in the world. So go back to the Jamu, go back to the Iltuang, if you can, to find the medicine that is just right for you, and using food as medicine, as you know how now. Okay? So let food be your medicine, and we also balance ourselves with Leng and Jua, right? Yes. So make sure that when you eat something very heaty, to balance it the next meal. And also make sure you reduce your talk. And like just now, you don't know what your talk is. If you eat a pizza, you think it's talk, you don't think it's toxic to you, but it is if you have a wheat or gluten intolerance. So, you know, I welcome you to come and find out what is talk for you and avoid it, right? Or reduce. So meat usage as well. Meat right now is contaminated with a lot of antibiotics and hormones. So that's the problem. When you eat the cows, for example, when they eat the grass or the feed that has antibiotics, most of the antibiotics in the world goes towards feeding animals, by the way. Why? Because they keep them in such cramped conditions and there's a lot of disease. So they give them antibiotics to prevent disease. And then it is magnified 1,000 times in the flesh of meat. And when we eat the meat, it's magnified 1,000 times in our flesh. So now you know why that our flesh is now decaying because of the antibiotics and hormones. It is not natural to us. So we have a lot of hormonal issues, right? Which leads to emotional issues, stress, schizophrenia, forgetfulness, you get lata, more lata than usual, okay? We know it, all the women are laughing. Lata is the Peranakan women when it's the full moon, you know, we get a little bit. Okay, next please. Right, and also for beauty, inner beauty with the food, outer beauty with that fuchu, and then we can use papaya, natural products, avocado. We don't have avocado here, of course, but in Indonesia, yes. So you can use papaya and daun pucuk for your hair, and then you can also make your own spritz with kananga odorata, ilang-ilang. It's very, very cooling. Egg and honey, anything from the kitchen, you use rice powder and just grind it, tumbuk, and then just use as a scrub. And also with salt. Sea salt is very important because sea salt will also help to clear the energy body. So you can just use that. And the most important thing right now in any beauty treatments is exfoliation. So it helps you to remove the dead skin, and then the nutrients can be absorbed. But you can have the strategy to be youthful and rejuvenation from both sides. And this is what we do from all angles, as well as the scientific one at our rejuvenation program. And of course, during we have different pantang for men, different pantang especially for birthing. Why? Because the Peranakans are really sensitive to the cycles of the earth, birthing and dying, you know, all these cycles. We are humans, right? We have to go through all the cycles. Otherwise, Josian, we can also be Josian, become immortals after we've gone through many cycles of spiritual evolution, growth. So again, the food must be right to keep warm during confinement. Sesame oil, ginger, scallions to create more heat. Black rice vinegar, why? Because it actually alkalizes our blood, just like taking lemon, for example, or lime. And then, of course, we eat the meat, pork legs, but we use it medicinally because of the collagen. Yeah? So everything considered as a medicine, but find out first if it's thought for you or not. Okay. Now, massage or pichit is quite important because I think who has grown up with some pichit massage? Who has grown up with it? Yes. So when I was small, 5 years old, we always gonna tea it and with coconut oil, and should go back to our infant massage because it's so good for the circulation and it makes contact with the mother or with the giver and the taker, the receiver. So this is a very important part in the healing tradition of the Peranakans, right? And using all the herbs that we use. And yeah, so we combine the Anmo, the Chinese point massage, and the Qilingzhang, abdominal massage. We have to be very balanced in the way we intake and we output, right, to keep the balance. So this, who has taken flower bath before? And the Muna, with the Guang Sui. So, but it has a scientific, actually, it has a very scientific basis, which is the flowers is the soul, the energy, the soul of the flower, and it combines with our soul to clear, to purify the aura or the chi body. And there's modern one sold right now in the shops. It's called flower essences, and even the emergency wards in England are starting to use this rescue remedy because it balances our spirit self. See, so it's not so bantang, right? Not just old wives' tales. This is finding a scientific basis now. And of course, spiritual healing can effect miracles. And we have seen amazing miracles happen through just energy healing. Doesn't matter what religion it is. You know that Peranakan is a combination of actually it's more animism of the earth, where you buy the sky and you buy the earth, as well as Taoism, pure Taoism, which is no pantheonic gods, right? And then you have the pantheonic gods, you have Pekong and you have Kuan Yin and so on. That's pantheonic. And then we go on to Buddhism, which is many forms of Buddhism, as well as Christianity. So Christianity that is iconic, like in Catholicism, or non-iconic. So whatever the belief system is, it has merged in all of us. We have different belief systems, but we have our own connection. And also we have to look at the Arabic as well as the Muslim aspect of Peranakan, the Arabic aspects. Then you know that our tiles, by the way, is Arabic, Iraqi, Persian in structure, and those geometrics that we have on our tiles is based on scripture from the Islamic faith. We didn't know that, right? So we are all a conglomeration of everything. And we have also like different symbols like agua, and we have salt to purify, and we have bunga rempe, which is bringing in to this space. Richard Tan and Joyce Lim and I, the festival director, as well as the creative director of BB Behind Bars, we went to clear the space. I'm actually quite well known for this, for ghost busting. I was on the front cover of the newspaper, which is kind of scandalous in any case, for being Madam Glam Ghostbuster. So I've done quite a few hotels here, the old black and white houses, and clinics and retail. So I've done that. And we cleared the space here. Underneath here they found also bones as well as ceramic shards, and we had a few visuals of Japanese soldiers as well. So yes, we cleared that. And so here we have, so we can use prayers, incense, right? However it is, just do what your belief is in for you. And then also the altar, you can create a personal altar and put flowers as just a symbolic gesture of your life at this time. Especially at the end of life, we want to go through it and celebrate our lives, right? And give up to our spirit. So you can use flowers, and that's why during funerals there are flowers there, white flowers, going back to purity. So you can use any of this. In Bali we use Chinese coins in the temple offerings. So there's a huge integration. We are also taking people on tours, Peranakan tours in Bali. Yes, believe it or not, there are many temples in Bali. And also meeting with a Peranakan priestess whose great-grandfather is Chinese. And myself, I'm a Peranakan priestess in Bali. So I can pass this around. This is me crowning. Oh, this is very interesting. This is Brahma Raja Li, Chinese name. His ancestor was a Chinese princess who came to Bali to marry a Majapahit prince. So he is actually a true Peranakan as well, prince. And so I was asked as a priestess to crown him. So I can pass this around if you want to take a look. Please. Thank you. So, and right now I work with medical doctors as well as scientists to bring forth the new ways, cutting-edge technologies to blend with the ancient wisdom. And I asked my partner here, Angelo, to bring forth the crystal and show you how we work with this. And crystal healing, yes, is also very much a part of Peranakan culture. Who believes that? Look at the many of you who are wearing your jade bangles, right? Some of them believe, right, that the jade bangles change color, right? And it's good, and it does change color. I've had a few, and some believe, especially our wonderful elders, when they fall down, the jade is actually protecting them when they break instead of their wrist. Yeah. What do you do with it? What do you do with the jade? You can clean it with salt and put it back to the earth. Say thank you from the earth. Good. Send it back. Yeah. So that's how it. You can say it's pantang, but it's a nice way also, right? Rather than two. Or you can grind it down and be pragmatic and make something else with it. That's perfectly fine. But as long as we understand that. Now, so we use crystals in our healing rejuvenation center. We use jade for our facials. We lift up with acupressure points, and then we use. Oh, we didn't bring it. Okay, we use the acupressure up to lift that, and then we use the jade rollers, or we use crystals. So you can also do that at home. You know, never thought of using, right? To use your bangle. See, as long as it's circulating, yeah. So because there's jade and other stones like diamonds have piezoelectric energy. So do you know your lasers used in hospitals? They use rubies. Yeah. So we have different spectrums for different reasons. Yes. Okay. And pearl powder, we used to take some pearl powder for the babies. We used to grind it for good skin. It makes sense because it's calcium. Yeah, calcium and magnesium for us. Right? See? Next one. So you can use all aspects as well as the divination. Some people will calculate the time of birth and so on for therapeutic reasons and for matchmaking, of course, but also therapeutic reasons that they need to know when you are born, how you are born, and so on. For example, Tibetan medicine, you combine flowers, herbs, crystals, then you'll have to calculate your time of birth. It has to be a certain direction when you are taking the medicine with certain needles in different parts of your body for that treatment. Wow, I know, that's a really holistic approach. So we haven't even come to that yet as we explore all the different aspects of holistic medicine. And with this, boom, and we see that holistic medicine is much more efficient, very efficacious, efficient and efficacious, that's French word, for ourselves in promoting our the natural immune system in our own bodies, and longevity, and if you're interested, immortality. Right? But the immortal side is just the spiritual. When we let go, all your problems, don't get worried about the neighbors, don't fight with them, okay? And that person siu ki la, biao kin la, swat ki, you know. So that's very important, yeah, to do that. So next, you have, I invite all of you to stay in touch for research and documentation. So you have any questions, anyone? Or anyone would like to come and try out? Any questions? Well, I know some of you may not have questions now, but many have many private questions later on. So I'll be over there, and you're welcome to make contact. Come visit us in Bali, and we are now planning tours, weekends, and week-long tours and rejuvenation programs in Bali. I know some of you have been there, and perhaps to other parts of Indonesia. So I thank you very much for your attention. And later, I think I'm supposed to tell some ghost stories as well. So later then. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the healing therapies of the Peranakan with the Lia Wai Ching.
Terima kasih.
Kamsian ya.
Kamsian.